Now that we have pretty much shown all major components and capabilities of Microsoft Defender for Endpoint solution, it is time that we take a look on its reporting capabilities. As it happens with all kinds of management solutions, reporting is an inescapable thing for various reasons. So now I am at Microsoft Defender for Endpoint Administration portal, and here on the left side I will go to the Reports section. Here you have various reports containing informations about devices, applications, identity, various data, and so on. These reports provide you readable and simplified insights about what is happening in your environment. Security report underneath General gives basic overview, so let's skip it and go to the next report, which is Threat Protection under Endpoints. If I look at Alert Trends report for my environment, and if I hover my mouse over these two spikes, I can see date and source of detection, which is endpoint detection and response and antivirus in my case. Which means on that particular date below shown spike, I had in my environment large spike of endpoint detection and response events that are shown in this report. You can also see here that by default this report shows view for last 30 days, but it can be changed to 3 months, 6 months, or you can select custom range per your needs. Now let's look report below this one. And opposite to previous report, this one shows for alerts what are they about, so to say what kind of threat category these alerts are about. So again, if I hover my mouse on this report, I can see that on particular date I have a large spike of ransomware and initial access alert type events, and some malware and lateral movement as well. In next report below this one, basically we have graphical showing of alerts filtered by previously known 4 types of alerts: high, medium, low, and informational. So again, if I hover my mouse on spikes of this report, you can see that I had mostly high severity events in my environment recently. Next report below this one shows us creation date of alerts, alongside with their status in terms of are they new or are they already resolved. Looking at color of spike on my graph, you can notice that in my environment all alerts are resolved, and that is because they have been automatically resolved by automation, because we used auto remediation on tenant level. And as a last report on bottom, we have classification of alerts by classification date. Here you will see alerts that are manually classified by your IT operators. But since we haven't done that for these demonstration purposes, there is nothing on this graph. As you could notice, these reports here on the left side of screen below alert trends, were, let's say, results accumulated through particular time range. While here on the right side of screen below alert status, we can see same reports for exact current time. Now if I go back to the reports section, you can see here that you have many other reports besides this one for endpoint threat protection that we have just shown. We are not going into details of each and every one now, but at this point you may have asked yourself what is to be done if you need to provide these reports to someone else. Obviously, it is not appropriate to have these reports available only in a way that you need to log in to Microsoft Defender for Endpoint Administration portal, where you will have these reports visible here in Reports section. Not only that it is not practical, but also you cannot give global administrator, security administrator, or any other custom role rights to some random users who do not manage your endpoint devices, but for some reason need to have access to that particular reports. For that purposes, you can use, for example, Power BI to create needed reports. This is not in the scope of this course, but instructions on how to retrieve that data using Power BI can be found in Microsoft official documentation. So let us just show how to retrieve that data using Power BI. Now I am in Power BI and I will select Get Data. Here I will select Blank Query. Next, when Blank Query opens, I will select Advanced Editor. I will just erase these default statements. And here I will paste this sample which is provided by Microsoft official documentation. So let us copy and paste this in Editor. Here, now I have pasted it here. And I will select Done. This is the sample provided by Microsoft official documentation, and this sample will basically connect Power BI to Advanced Hunting API. And there it is. Here you can see the results. This is not first time that I'm connecting Power BI to Advanced Hunting API, and that is the reason I am not asked for credentials after I selected Done. In case you are doing this for the first time, you will need to enter, for example, Global Administrator credentials before you can see the results here. Now you can manipulate this retrieved data in a way that you want, and export results shown in user-friendly graphs and reports for anyone you wish. But as we told, this is not in the scope of this course. And that's it for this lesson. In next and last video of 8th module, we will summarize everything we have learned in module 8.